Dave ready for the lift?
Yep.
Matt?
What?
Matt,
I wasn't ready.
you promised me I'd be Torvil.
Hey? You haven't got the legs for it, love.
You two are skating on thin ice.
Yes, everyone indeed, yeah, and welcome to the One Show with, of course, my favourite partner, Alex Jones.
That's more like it. And Matt, the mover and shaker bake it. Do they really call you that?
In some circles, yeah.
And as you may have already gathered, tonight's guests are the legendary Jane Torvil and Christopher Dean. Well, you've just finished a very intense 12 weeks on Dancing on Ice, and you're about to embark on the tour. Gosh, how do you do it all?
Well, the tour starts on the 9th of April, so we had to go straight into rehearsals and keep going.
Yeah. I want to know where you got those outfits from, that.
I know Dave brought them in, I don't know.
They looked a bit dodgy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, anyway, like many young couples, Prince William and Kate Middleton are up to their eyes in wedding preparations, but at least they've booked the band who are going to be playing at their big day.
Yes, and they've also agreed to strike up a tune for our visiting ice skating royalty. They are, of course, the Guards.
We'll be getting a flavour of what Kate and William will be hearing on the 29th, a little bit later on.
All those Guards are places like Afghanistan and Iraq. But it's our involvement in Libya which is dominating the headlines at the moment.
RAF warplanes have been launching missiles on Libyan targets as part of the operation against Colonel Gaddafi's forces.
But what would it be like to fly one of those planes? Well, Joe Crowley looks at the controversial role bomber pilots have played in conflicts over the past 60 years.
He was, actually. He was patrolling the channel, and he was a gunner, so, you know, he had to protect the people on his ship.
Yeah. And what was his take on that then? Because, you know, obviously firing and what have you.
He said he didn't really think about it. It was like self-preservation, and you know, if he didn't fire, they would fire at them. So it was a job, and yeah.
And you went in the forces, Chris. But you were a man in uniform. We have the photographic evidence here.
Look at that.
There he is.
I don't know who's the more surprised at this point. You're that late.
You didn't know we had this, did you?
No, I did not. No, that was a flashback. That's many moons ago. That was back in the late 70s, I think.
You weren't interested in that lady, were you?
No, I think doing my job as directing the public. Yeah.
Well,
over there to the left.
Well, I tell you what place that you're very good at directing people to are these streets that you have named after you both. I mean,
absolutely, yeah. No, that was
estate.
An estate in Nottingham, just after the Olympics, that named all these streets and closes and places that we'd never heard of.
Well, they look very tidy, don't they? It looks as if the residents there take care of their patch, so to speak.
It certainly does.
It's a dead end there at Torvil Heights.
Well, listen up, because John Sargent has been to visit an estate in Essex whose residents could have lost their home if they had had an overgrown front garden.
I love looking at the garden, but mine at the moment is kind of dug up. It's
is it?
under construction, I think.
Right, okay.
Chris, how about yours?
My garden's frozen over at the moment.
Oh,
yeah.
Perfect escape.
It's a nice rink.
Colorado. The lovely Christine Morton's here. Hello, Christine.
Hi, nice to be back.
Now, why is it, if we are a nation of gardeners, why are there always old bits of rubbish? In every garden you get, tyres, bits of old cars, and always, if you notice, there are always bits of bathrooms. There's always a toilet and always a sink.
Because people flush with success with it all. There's two people in this world, two types. You've got the person that doesn't actually care about how the front looks, and yet then you've got the person that actually has a sense of pride, and that's the big issue. You are never ever going to get somebody really engaging with that front garden if they're not interested. The key thing is for the neighbours to gang up on them, get a great pot full of plants.
I can tell you what, Christine. Gang up on them now. Straight down camera for. This is your
folks, get out there with all your spare cuttings, all your seedlings, go around, gang on them, and dig up the gardens and make the garden profit and have a sense of terrific pride and beauty in the surroundings, and the whole atmosphere then calms down and it becomes very beautiful and peaceful and people take a pride. It's dead easy.
But having said that, what's your front garden like then?
My front garden actually is a car park because that's how it was when I bought it, but my back garden now then you're into something very special.
Now you've brought a little plant along, haven't you?
Yes.
This is a perfect garden.
It is. For anybody that doesn't know anything about gardening, that is a plant that you can bung in your garden, plant it, water it, and then leave it alone. You don't need to do anything else with it. It will look after itself, it's drought tolerant, it will grow to about another 6 or 7 inches, it will spread to a foot, it flowers with nice little yellow flowers in a couple of weeks' time. It will then change colour. Colorado. You could eat that actually, yes.
There's a peacock in a garden in Somerset.
Very nice.
Look at that. It's extraordinary tale.
But check this out. This is a Christmas pudding in a garden in Yeovil in Somerset. Now then.
Look at that. Gorgeous. Please meet Geraldine the giraffe. In a garden in Ashford in Kent. It's a bit of a sad story actually this, because a little while ago Geraldine's head was chopped off by vandals.
Terrible people out there.
The head was found 4 miles from the body.
Look at that.
Oh.
Anyway, okay, thank you very much, Kristen. Great pleasure. Now, according to the headlines today, supermarket discounts are at an all-time high, with everyone tightening their belts. Oh,
she's gone to plant all in the front garden.
Is that right, Chrissy? We'll start that again. Now then, according to the headlines today, supermarket discounts are at an all-time high, with everyone tightening their belts has become a necessity to shop.
No, then, I'll do the rest of it. If one retailer tells you that it is cheaper than everyone else, the chances are that you will probably believe them.
Yes.
Horrible. Oh, you want to carry on?
Warwick O'Brien found out so-called price matching schemes are not always what they seem. Yes?
Expensive, well.
Don't shop around.
Yeah. The first thing you did when you came in was compare shoes, wasn't it?
Yeah,
There we
shoes
go.
are important.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 12 weeks with the Dancing on Ice. Yeah, no, it was a great series, I think.
Even than ever. So magical moments for you?
Wearing the Jimmy Choos in the final. Just kidding. I think one of the things that I'll always remember is working with Johnson.
Yeah.
The fact that where he started, and he'd had so many injuries when he was in the army, and he couldn't barely move. And during the course of the weeks that he was in until the semi-final, he learned how to skate, but also I think it was good for him. It was very therapeutic, and also he had some numbness still in his legs. So from a physical and a mental point of view, it was really very good for him.
Yeah.
First highlights for you?
I think the final was a big highlight because we had leaders that have been at the top of the leaderboard, and they've already also been in the CU who was going to win. It was really on the night who was going to be the best performer on the night. Yeah. And that's the great thing. And they're all coming on tour with us.
Yeah. So your tour starts on the 9th of April. You've come down from Sheffield today for us. That's where you kick off.
There. Yeah, no, all those finalists and Johnson, they're all coming on tour. So now's a chance for them to let their hair down a little bit more. There is a competition every night, but it's more fun for them. They get to do the same number week in, week out, so they're getting better at it. And it's a great time.
But do you have to lug the ice rink around with you then?
Some of the arenas already have ice in, but there are one or two where we have to take
We all come with a glass ice.
Yeah, stamp it down.
But I mean, you two are probably most famous for dancing the bolero wonderfully. But after Matt and Dave's attempts earlier, we thought we'd have to show how it's done properly. So here we are.
Still very emotional for the pair of you.
Yeah, when we see that, we don't often look at it, to tell you the truth, because it's a memory in our head. But when we do...
Another memory must have been the reaction that you got when you came back. I mean, we've got a shot of you here in Nottingham. It looks like a scene from the Royal Wedding.
It does. I think when we were there, all consumed by the competition, you're not aware of what's happening back home, and it wasn't until we came home a few weeks after that we had this parade and we saw all these people, a sea of people. It's amazing.
One quick question: how on earth do you keep going? Because I mean, it's amazing the level that you're still, performing at every week.
We just we're enjoying what we're doing right now. This is all a bonus for us, and that we've discovered that we really love what we're doing. And when you get to go to work and enjoy what you're doing each day. It doesn't matter how hard it is, but you get the enjoyment from it.
Yeah.
I think that's what keeps
Keeps
us
you
going.
in shape as well.
Now, Jane, Matt keeps going on and on about Strictly, what he was wearing, la la la. So we want you to decide who looks better in lycra, our Matt or Chris. So,
Oh,
there we
nice.
go.
You know what?
do you think?
My costume's way older, so I
quite like the
think
gold,
Matt
though.
wins there.
You win in the fashion stakes then.
Okay.
We'll leave it there. Well, I'll tell you what, we've already heard about the streets that have been named after you. This is a bit of an odd question, but have you ever had a gourd named after you?
I don't think
We've had sheep, boats, and roses.
roses and fuchsias and yeah.
Little goats, yeah.
Goats, right.
Oh, well, rightly or wrongly, goats have had a bit of a bad boy reputation for chewing through things they shouldn't.
But in Cheddar Gorge, it's a very different story, as Kate Bevan has paid a visit to find out. Christine walked and showed us earlier on in the studio was Euphorbia Frosted Flame. I'm sure those little goats
Very
are
nice it was.
Yeah.
Yes, now in just over 4 weeks, Kate Middleton will marry her prince and officially become, well, we don't know yet, do we? Because the Queen hasn't quite decided a title.
Now, I think our invitations have been lost in the post somewhere.
Well, speak for yourself, Matt.
But these guys behind us will definitely be there. They're the band of the Welsh Guards, and they've been asked to play before the couple at Buckingham Palace.
Did the Welsh girls play to your wedding, Jane?
No.
Do you remember what you had your first dance to?
No.
So long ago.
It wasn't that memorable.
There wasn't one.
Yeah, super. Well, they've also produced the CD as well, which
Yes,
is...
it's called the Royal Tribute. Yes.
Okay, that is it for tonight. So, playing us out are the Welsh Guards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Are we
It's
going?
Enzo Fidelis. We'll see you tomorrow.
Run! Quick! What?